Okay, gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tenek127 and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video, I am giving you my guide on Monster Hunter Wilds for the Longsword. However, big fat disclaimer, this is a beginner's guide. So we're going to be covering over simple things like building up your spirit gauges, working on your combos and stuff like that. None of you know the crazy Virgil leaping in the air, super slash things and all that stuff just yet. Okay? I have an advanced guide coming where I'm going to cover all of that fancy, higher end complex and end game stuff and stuff like that. But one thing I did have while I was playing with this game was I had a little epiphany about how easy this class was. And just in case, anybody else had trouble using this class or weapon, I wanted to just, put my 2 cents out there. So, the Longsword, it is based around what is called your spirit gauge. Your spirit gauge is this little sword gauge you see right here at the top of the screen. That is right under your weapon durability. Now, the training area makes this real simple, and this is the best place to learn the Longsword. Don't have a friend whispering in your ear saying, do this combo, do that combo. The training area is the best place to teach you how to use the Longsword. Do you want to know why? I want you to look at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. It basically tells you the fundamentals of the Longsword, the simple ones. It says, hey, use this combo to fill your spirit gauge. Use this combo to level your gauge up. When the gauge is at its maximum, use this combo. It doesn't get more simple than that. So we're going to go ahead and show you guys how it works. We're going to go ahead and hit Y or triangle. Take our Longsword out. And we're just going to go ahead and smack the dummy here. You guys will see my spirit gauge is filling up. It is now 1 level filled. So now to raise that, all I want to do is hit RT, 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 and RT. Now my spirit gauge is leveled up level 2. And as you guys can see, now the spirit gauge has this white color. So again, just keep filling it up with regular slashes. You can use Y to slash to build up the gauge, and you can also use B or circle to fill up the gauge. B or Y. It doesn't tell you that for some reason. It just says the Y or the triangle. But you can also use the B or circle to fill up the gauge as well. And then once again, because my gauge is at that white level, I'm going to right trigger, right trigger, right trigger, and right trigger, and it brings it up to the yellow level. As you guys can see, the sword just turned yellow. I'm going to show you guys right here. I'm going to fully use B this time to build up the gauge. As you guys can see, I'm not even using Y. B is still building up the gauge. So you can use B or Y to fill up your spirit gauge, just so you guys know. And we're going to go again. Right trigger, right trigger, right trigger, right trigger, or right trigger. And guess what? Now we are red. When you're red, this is the maximum for your spirit gauge. You want to go ham, egg, and cheese with the combos with this thing, alright? This thing is going to tell you your basic combo that you want to use with the red is just Y, 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 Y. Nah. I want you to throw some Ys in there. I want you to throw some Bs in there. I want you to throw some right trigger R2s in there. Alright, I want you to get all kinds of fancy with it, alright? Tear that monster a new one when this gauge turns red. Damn it, that is what you are supposed to do. You are supposed to go ham, egg, and cheese when this thing is red. And just like the typical class of a Dark Knight, Death Knight, Berserker, or whatever, your goal of this class is to keep this spirit gauge as high as possible at all times. As you guys can see, went down yellow again. My main goal is to get that spirit gauge up again. So we're going RT, 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 and RT, and boom, it's red again. So once you're in that yellow area and you guys just keep up with it, you can keep getting yourself back into red really quickly. Now, the thing is, right, it's not always going to be this easy, because remember, when you're fighting actual monsters, they move around, they roll, they fly, and stuff like that. So you're going to have to work on different strategies and skills to time yourself while hitting these monsters. So let's say, you don't want to ruin your RT combo. Wait till the monster is stunned, or somebody uses a trap, or if, you know, if it's knocked over on its back. Use that time to use your RT combo, because one complex thing about this class is, and I hate to say, but the RT combo is actually the longest combo, as you can tell by the moves. Especially that third one, because it has 3 slashes in itself. Even the Y combo isn't that long. As you guys can see, the RT combo is the longest. And I think it's purposely built that way, you know, to obviously put the skill gap in the game and stuff like that for the longsword. But like I said, guys, your goal is simple. You want to be red as much as possible, just doing as much damage as you possibly can. You want to be in that red gauge. That is where you're going to do the most damage. That's where you're going to have the most attack speed. That is when your character is going to be the most ferocious. Alright, like I said, think of it as a typical like Dark Knight or Death Knight style class that you're playing in like an MMO or an action RPG or something. There'll be different classes where, you know, you gotta do different combos to keep up your MP or build up like a soul gauge or something like that. This class has that same mechanic, and it's a lot simpler than, you know, some people realize. Like I said, come here to the training thing. This place explains it the best, but I just wanted to make a small little mini beginner's guide to help you guys out. If you want to see an intermediate or more advanced guide with, you know, some crazy combos and me doing the whole Virgil thing, let me know down in the comments below. Y'all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.